confess, Father, I confess, 'cause I've been living wrong. I know.
So, you've taken up Frostmourne at the expense of your comrades' lives, just as the Dark Lord said you would. You are stronger than I thought.
You waste your breath, Mal'Ganis. I heed only the voice of Frostmourne now.
You hear the voice of the Dark Lord. He whispers to you through the blade he wields. What does he say, young human? What does the Dark Lord of the Dead tell you now?
He tells me that the time for my vengeance has come.
What? He can't possibly mean to...
It is finished.
So, the Dark Lord has decided to betray us. This won't go unnoticed. He hasn't seen the last of me. I must hunt soon. Very well. What is it now? Agreed. Very well. Agreed. You thought of that. Might very well. I can no longer maintain control over the undead. What, mortal? What is it now? I must hunt soon.
Must be.
Research complete.
What is it now? Death rages.
Must be.
Agreed. I must hunt soon. Very well. What, mortal? You thought of that. Agreed. You thought of that. I hunger. What is it now? What, mortal? I must hunt soon. Very well. Agreed. You thought of that. Very well. You thought of that. What, mortal? Very well. What is it now? Your soul is mine. You thought of that. What is it now? What, mortal? What is it now? Agreed. What? You thought of that. I hunger. Death rages. I must hunt soon. Your soul is mine. Agreed. You thought of that. Very well.
Make your choice.
You thought of that. Very well. Agreed. Very well. You thought of that. Very well. Agreed.
Must bleed.
I must hunt soon. What is it now? You thought of that. Very well. I must hunt soon. What, mortal? What is it now? I must hunt soon. Agreed. You thought of that. What is it now? I must hunt soon. What is it now? Agreed. You thought of that. What, mortal? What is it now? I must hunt soon. Agreed. What is it now? What, mortal? Very well. I must hunt soon. Agreed. You thought of that. Agreed. Very well.
Dwarves!
You thought of that. What is it now? Pathetic fools. I must hunt soon. What is it now? Agreed. Very well. You thought of that. I must hunt soon. Agreed. You thought of that. Very well. What is it now? You thought of that. What, mortal? I must hunt soon. What is it now? I must hunt soon. Very well. You thought of that. Very well. Death rages. What is it now? I must hunt soon. What is it now? Your soul is mine. I must hunt soon. You thought of that. Very well. Death rages. Agreed. Very well. What is it now? What, mortal? Agreed. Very well. I must hunt soon. I hunger. Agreed. Very well. Your soul is mine. What is it now? What, mortal? What is it now? What, mortal? Agreed. Very well. Agreed. Very well. Agreed. Very well. I hunger. Death rages. Your soul is mine. What is it now? You thought of that. I must hunt soon. What is it now? Agreed. What, mortal? Very well. You thought of that. Very well. I must hunt soon. You thought of that.
I've had it with this cursed
Agreed.
land.
Very well. What is it now? Agreed. What, mortal?
Insufficient mana.
What is it now? Very well. You thought of that. Agreed. You thought of that. Very well.
Have you seen what happened? Prince Arthas and a horde of undead warriors have assaulted our base camps. This cannot be happening. Something's not right. Look, it's Mal'Ganis. Arm yourselves!
What, mortal? I must hunt soon. Agreed. Very well. What, mortal? You thought of that. Death rages. Agreed. I hunger. What is it now? You thought of that. I must hunt soon. Very well. You thought of that. What is it now? Agreed. I must hunt soon. You thought of that. Agreed. What is it now? You thought of that. What, mortal? Very well. I must come soon. What is it now? Agreed. What, mortal? Your soul is mine. You thought of that. Very well. I must hunt soon. I hunger. You thought of that. Your soul is mine. I hunger. Agreed. You thought of that. What is it now? Agreed. Very well. Agreed. You thought of that. I must hunt soon. Very well. What? Your soul is mine. What is it now? What, mortal? You thought of that. Agreed. You thought of that. Agreed. You thought of that. Agreed. Very well. You thought of that. Agreed. You thought of that. Very well. You thought of that. I must hunt soon. Very well. Agreed. You thought of that. Agreed.
Our forces are under attack.
Very well. The Legion will hear of the Lich King's betrayal. This treachery won't go unpunished.